Representative Luna said what?
AARO from the get-go has not been an honest broker with Congress. That's been my opinion. I don't think we need to keep funding AARO.
She's not wrong, and you're gonna want to stick around for this one. Direct evidence, straight from my inbox in the form of a job inquiry from an AARO recruiter. And trust me, when you hear what the job entailed, you won't believe it, and it answers Luna's defunding question once and for all. Hey everyone, welcome to the Good Trouble Show. I'm Matt Ford. That clip is from just last week. Representatives Anna Paulina Luna on George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell's Weaponized podcast, sitting there with Reps Tim Burchett and Eric Burleson, and she's not holding back. And tonight, I've got breaking news on AARO, the Pentagon's official UFO office that every member of Congress needs to hear, especially Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. This is direct evidence that landed right in my inbox in the form of a job inquiry from an AARO recruiter. And trust me, when you hear what the job entailed, you're not going to believe it. It exposes AARO for what it truly is and answers Luna's question once and for all: should we keep funding this thing or finally pull the plug on the taxpayer-funded clown car that AARO is? Stick with me. The receipts are delicious. Now, let's start with the fairy tale Congress was sold. AARO, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, was stood up in 2022 and cemented in the 2023 National Defense Authorization Act. The pitch? Detect these pesky, unidentified anomalous phenomena across air, sea, space, even the ones that hop from water to sky like they're auditioning for a Michael Bay movie. Centralize all the data. Assess the risks. Give folks a nice, safe hug and a hotline. Report straight to Congress. No funny business? Sounds perfect, right? Yeah. Well, secure reporting, it's more like secure smearing. 3+ years later, hundreds of cases logged. And what do we have after probably multi-millions of dollars of taxpayer funds spent on AARO? One historical record, Report Volume 1. That's it. No raw sensor data, no appendices, no case files, no methodologies, so anyone can actually check AARO's work. Volume 2, that was required by Congress, poof, vanished. No timeline, no explanation. Maybe it's off resolving itself in another domain. Independent analysts ripped it. This Volume 1 report from AARO was full of factual errors, the same tired Department of Defense or Department of War talking points on repeat. Sources reframed or just ghosted. Conclusions you can't verify because, surprise, there's no underlying data. It's less about releasing evidence and more about releasing, well, hot air. More like an in-house bullshit factory churning out explanations that nobody can fact check. Now, let's talk about the guy who ran the show, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, founding director of AARO from 2022 to 2023, a career intelligence official, the guy who got to brief Congress more than anyone else on UAP. His words carried the full weight of the Pentagon. Or at least that's what they told us. As far back as my own letter to Congress in 2024, now part of the official congressional record, sources told me that Kirkpatrick put together a secret little advisory board for AARO. He admitted the board existed, but when Congress asked about naming names, like who was on this board, Kirkpatrick wouldn't tell them. He said, nah, that's classified. My allegation in the letter to Congress? That Sean Kirkpatrick handpicked Glenn Gaffney, former head of the CIA's Directorate of Science and Technology, the guy alleged to be one of the gatekeepers for the legacy UAP crash retrieval program. Sean put Glenn on that secret panel. That's literally like the fox advising the henhouse from day one, turning AARO literally into a potential fly-paper trap for whistleblowers, sticky enough to catch them, then quietly hand them back to the cover-up crew in the legacy program and the CIA. Now, jump to 2023, right after David Grusch testified to Congress. Kirkpatrick hits LinkedIn, says these things are, quote, personal opinions, wink, wink, and let me read this directly from Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. Quote, I cannot let yesterday's hearing pass without sharing how insulting it was to the officers of the Department of Defense and intelligence community who chose to join AARO. None, let me repeat, none of the conspiracy-minded whistleblowers in the public eye had elected to come to AARO to provide their evidence. Anyone that would rather be sensationalist in the public eye than bring their evidence to the one organization established in law is suspect. The narrative is a textbook example of circular reporting. He may have misinterpreted things that people have said, or he may have just fallen to the influence of what these folks have been telling him. That post from Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick was aimed at congressional whistleblower David Grusch. And the blanket denial, quote, AARO has yet to find any credible evidence to support the allegations of any reverse engineering program for non-human technology. Then, after leaving AARO, Sean slides into a cushy spot at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, a Department of Energy-run facility, as Chief Technology Officer for Defense and Intelligence Programs. And remind you, he is still on the taxpayer dime. So what does he do? He cranks the crazy up to 11. Let me read this one too. Quote, if Luna and her lunatics want to continue to parade charlatans and grifters in front of an audience to satisfy her need for playhouse politics, then the American people should demand accountability of all the wasted taxpayer money and congressional time she has derailed from more serious issues facing this country. He goes on to say, quote, clearly she has been working quietly with these pseudo-scientists and attention seekers to script a hearing and then launch it as a surprise onto the world, possibly to distract or more likely because that's all she is qualified to do. Where is the Department of Justice investigation into the congressional misappropriation and corruption associated with trying to funnel money to these grifters and actively obstruct legitimate work by the DOD and IC? It's a disgrace to Congress and the U.S. government and only serves to provide reality TV. And AARO and the Department of Defense? Total silence. No pushback. No, hey, Sean, let's cool it. That's silence. It screams top cover. Someone at DOD, CIA, or the legacy program is blessing this. They are letting him run his mouth to protect the narrative. No consequences. From smearing whistleblowers to assaulting Congress itself, a pattern is emerging. Now, let's meet Tim Phillips, Kirkpatrick's brother from another mother, apparently, career intelligence professional, AARO leadership, deputy director, and then stepped in as interim director after Sean Kirkpatrick pulled the ripcord. His words still echo the office's ongoing stance. Here's the former director who became interim director following the exact same pattern as Sean Kirkpatrick. Protected attacks from official positions. No repercussions. On LinkedIn, he repeatedly goes after whistleblower David Grusch and Lou Elizondo. Let me read some of this directly so you can hear his exact words. Quote, Mr. Grusch could have shared everything he knows about UAP with AARO without waiting for his security access restored, but he declined. Many will be disappointed if he testifies at UFO Week and fails to provide any evidence for his claims. Why is Congress providing him another opportunity to deceive the public? If Mr. Grusch has evidence of an unauthorized UAP recovery or exploitation program, he should provide AARO with this evidence. And he dismisses the whole thing as, quote, more BS from former federal contractors seeking media attention with unsubstantiated claims they supported another covert UFO program. Elizondo fires back, calls out the dismissive petty attitude from Phillips and his previous boss, Sean Kirkpatrick, urges upholding the oath to Americans instead of bureaucracy. I mean, it should be pretty simple. Then on a podcast, Tim Phillips drops this gem.
I don't think this has gone public yet, but those technologies and amazing capabilities were designed by Americans and built, manufactured, and flown by Americans. Some of these things we have, my God, they look like Klingon death ships. Absolutely amazing.
Can you believe that? Let me tell you something. No, absolutely no intel veteran slips classified hints like that without approval. Absolutely no career intelligence official is going to reveal on a podcast classified programs about our sort of crown jewels that we have sitting in the garage. He is no dummy. It was deliberate. Klingon ships? Well, I don't know. Maybe because balloons don't come with warp drive and LinkedIn burns don't come with professionalism. Flypaper operation. That's what that is. It is a flypaper operation in full view. Publicly smear Grusch and Elizondo as liars and cowards while privately hinting at exotic U.S. tech. It's all protected pettiness designed to deter whistleblowers like David Grusch. And it doesn't stop with leadership. AARO starts showing up at civilian and academic workshops, NSF and AUI events in 2024 and 2025. And guess what? Sometimes their presence isn't disclosed until people are already on site. I mean, why? Why would they do that? The official line? All about communication, data sharing, collaboration. But reports from my sources paint a different picture. Inconsistent outreach. Some scientists and organizations get offered partnerships and significant financial amounts. Others, crickets. So, what's going on here? Selective offers to align certain players? Data requests that could be mapping civilian sensor tech progress to monitor what independents are developing? Make sure no accidental discoveries of real UAP or classified Blue Force tech the Pentagon wants to keep hidden? Possible NDAs buried in contracts to control the outcomes. Given AARO's pattern, protected attacks on critics, Klingon hints when it suits them, this doesn't look like open science. It looks like another layer of narrative management, like flypaper for censors. And the staffing? That's where it gets personal. Connecting back to that inbox tease I said at the beginning of the program, the disinfo proof arrived personally. This is the message that landed in my LinkedIn inbox. Danny McGeehan from SG2 Recruiting says he came across my background and thought I'd be, quote, a strong match for a high-impact role supporting AARO with Arlo Solutions, senior staff officer, on-site in Alexandria, Virginia. Key aspects of the job? Shape and refine AARO policy, oversight, and guidance. Standardize reporting across DoD and IC. Support threat assessments. Collaborate with NASA, FAA, DHS, NOAA, DOE, and international partners. Contribute to classified and unclassified reports for senior leadership and Congress. Requirements? Active top secret clearance with SCI eligibility. Master's degree. So naturally, I go to look up the actual job posting from AARO, and here's what I was shocked to find on the fourth and final page under desired qualifications. Quote, knowledge of influence operations, information operations, or deception activities. Let that sink in. AARO, the Pentagon's all-domain anomaly resolution office, asking for people with experience in, quote, knowledge of influence operations, information operations, or deception activities. Knowledge of influence operations, information operations, or deception activities. Holy shit. Let it sink in. And here's what a Pentagon official told me off the record about that line, verbatim. The job description you received included information operations under desired qualifications. To the uneducated, this term may seem innocuous. We live in a digital world where we could describe much of our daily life as information operations. However, for DoD, now Department of War, this is a very loaded term and implies a specific type of warfare domain, information. As described in the U.S. Army's Field Manual 3-13, published December 2016, it covers core capabilities like psychological operations and military deception. Information operations is an active part of the U.S. Army under its ARC Cyber Service Component support to U.S. Cyber Command. Given that AARO has consistently demonstrated a total disregard for the truth and a nothing to see here, move along attitude, it is not a surprise that I.O. knowledge and expertise is inherent in the operational management of AARO. Yeah, not a surprise at all. If they were really targeting me and it wasn't some generic message they were direct messaging to people, they wanted a vocal critic, the guy calling out AARO's flypaper game to help run their influence machine. This isn't just my inbox. This is the smoking gun. Klingon hints when it suits them. Open assaults on sitting members of Congress. Relentless, absolutely relentless smears of whistleblowers. The very men and women who have worn the uniform to defend this country. And now, the Department of Defense, the Department of War, whatever the hell Pete Hegseth wants to call it, is actively recruiting for a job that explicitly requires expertise in I.O., otherwise known as information operations, which, straight from their own manuals, include psychological operations and military deception. They are staffing up for a goddamn straight-up psyop, but a deception campaign aimed at the American public and the very members of Congress tasked with overseeing them. And it's all there for members of Congress to see. It's all there in black and white. This exposes AARO's true core. Narrative control. A full-throated information operations and deception campaign designed to mislead you, me, and the people's representatives. Representative Luna is spot on. AARO's failed its mandate from day one. Congress created it, Congress funds it, and Congress can damn well end it. Share this recruiter's message. Share this AARO job posting. Share Sean Kirkpatrick's posts. Share Tim Phillips' quotes far and wide. Contact your representatives and contact the office of Speaker Mike Johnson. Demand they defund this deception machine right now. Not tomorrow, now. Sunlight beats flypaper every time.